Hey everybody, what's going on? Helmlight here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. It's Tuesday, and the patch notes for patch 7.3 have just been posted, so that means it's time for another patch note rundown. Today I'm going to be going over all of the most important changes contained in patch 7.3, and talking a little bit about the context for why they were established. This patch was actually fairly large. There are a lot of important things, both for casual and competitive play, so it's going to be a little bit longer than normal. I hope you guys bear with me, and let's go ahead and dive right in. First up, we are getting Camille nerfs. Praise the Lord, it's finally happening. Camille's been really bonkers for a long time, and these nerfs are targeting basically every part of her kit. Right now, her lockdown is too good, and her damage is too good, so effectively, you had no choice. You couldn't fight her, you couldn't run from her, you just died if there was Camille. So, accordingly, Riot is nerfing pretty much all of those aspects in a hope to tune her down a little bit more. Her Q2 damage does a lot less bonus damage. It's down to 80% from 100%. The W slows for less, down to 80% from 90%. That was a 90% slow. And it also falls off over the duration. Her E costs more mana and only gives its attack speed if you hit a champion. And the R will now disappear much more quickly after Camille dies. All of this should do a lot of things to help reduce Camille's damage and make her a little bit easier to fight. Next up, we have Ivern nerfs. Ivern has kind of established himself as a very powerful champion in LCS, and a lot of that is because of the tankiness of Daisy. Daisy is really hard to kill, and if you don't kill her, she will regenerate all of her health out of combat, allowing her to tank the next objective. Accordingly, Daisy is receiving a lot of nerfs, so technically I guess Ivern isn't getting nerfed, but whatever. Daisy no longer regenerates health while out of combat, and her defenses are massively reduced, so it'll be easier to kill her, and if you don't fully kill her, it's okay, she won't be coming back to full health. Next up, Jace nerfs, another big one we've been waiting for a long time. His kit gives him way too much to do, and currently his hammer form is absolutely annihilating people, especially given that Thundering Blow allows him to politely decline any fights in which that he'd actually lose. Accordingly, his hammer form abilities are pretty much all getting nerfed. Hammer Q's damage is down, the Hammer E's mana cost is up, and the first auto attack on his hammer stance has a lower ratio now. What this means is Jace can only decline so many fights with Thundering Blow before he just doesn't have the mana to do so. He doesn't do as much damage with the Q, and he won't burst quite as hard with his first auto attack. So overall, it'll make Jace's all-ins a lot less reliable, I suppose I should say. Next, we have Kha'Zix's nerfs. He's been really good in competitive play as well because of how much sustained damage he can do. Isolated Q means that, after it's evolved, I should say, Isolated Q means that he pretty much will be able to annihilate you with really high damage spells because it's almost no cooldown when it's evolved and you're isolated. And this also lets him burn down Drakes really fast. So his Q is getting the bulk of the nerfs today. The ratio on it is going down, and the evolved cooldown reduction has been decreased. It's down to 45% reduction from 60%. So Kha'Zix will be getting a lot less Qs, and he'll be a lot more bursty as opposed to having really good sustained damage as well. LeBlanc is also getting nerfed, the second of the big three that have been 100% pick or ban in LCS so far. She's been really good at shoving in and also trading at early ranks because of how much damage Sigil of Malice does. So that's where the nerfs are targeted. The passive damage is down at all early levels. It resumes its regular damage at levels 14 through 18, but every level below that it will be doing less damage than it was before, to give you at least a small window where you could actually fight LeBlanc and win. Everyone's favorite Prophet of the Void, Malzahar, is also receiving nerfs. Surprise, surprise. Support Malzahar is really annoying and really crazy strong right now, and a lot of it is because of unintentional power. Malzahar's Voidlings basically give him guaranteed immunity from skill shots. I can't count the number of times I've seen Malzahar Voidlings block Nautilus dredge lines in professional games. And he doesn't have to commit much for a trade. He presses E, he presses W, and he walks away while his Voidlings tear you to shreds. So the W is getting nerfed. Voidling spawn now has a very short delay on it, so we can't instantly spawn Voidlings. There's a cooldown between casts, so we can't spawn them instantly, and Voidling movement speed will fall off if they get too far away from Malzahar. If he wants to keep his Voidlings on you, he'll have to follow them in, and that exposes him to getting traded back. Hopefully this tones him down a little bit in the support role without hurting him too much in the mid lane. Rengar, the last of the big three, is finally receiving nerfs, and his are kind of all over, but he has a giant safety net compared to other assassins where he basically cannot be stopped once he goes in. He presses W for the empowered battle roar, he cleanses any crowd control on him, and then he becomes immune to further crowd control, guaranteeing that he gets out. His ultimate is also really strong just in how long it lasts. As long as it's on, your team can't really do much for fear of Rengar jumping and killing the squishies. So, there are a couple of nerfs aimed at Rengar. First is the Q nerf. The dash on his Q is now much lower. It's actually, what it means is that it's a net neutral movement now. Rengar could move the same distance that his Q dash, so it's no longer more efficient to use your Q dash around the map just to move a little bit faster. Let's be honest, that looked really silly, and I'm glad it's gone. Empowered W no longer grants CC immunity, so Rengar can get locked down, even if he cleanses the first crowd control spell directed at him. And his R duration is down pretty substantially at rank 3, and a little bit lower at earlier ranks. So Rengar can't spend as much time prowling around looking for kills, and he has to kind of commit much more quickly to what he's going to do. Finally, on the list of long nerfs, we have Zyra getting nerfed. Right now, her plants are super oppressive and basically make it impossible for melee champions to trade back into her. So, the changes are aimed at giving them a little bit more of a window to actually fight Zyra, or possibly to prune her garden before the garden prunes them. Plants will no longer auto-acquire champions near them unless the spell that spawned the plants actually hit a champion. So, if you dodge the Q, you won't immediately get Thorn Spittered. You'll have a little bit of time to start killing those plants before they start attacking you. Unless you get hit by the Q, in which case they'll attack you, and that's totally fine. Zyra's Q's mana cost is also going up a little bit, so she won't be able to use it as often to spam in lane, but it's only 10 mana, so not that big of a deal. Anyways, those are all the big changes directed at patch 7.3. Let me know the thing you're most excited for in this patch. I know I'm always excited for LeBlanc nerfs, but let me know if you guys are excited to see the Camille, Rengar nerfs, or anything else in this patch. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoy this video, and consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday and Friday, and every patch day. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later.